and welcome to another episode of StrawChat Crew, where we'll be talking about Orange Town and Buggy the Clown this week.
Orange Town is where Buggy the Clown originates. When we
Buggy the
first meet
Clown,
him.
Nami, and a lot more devil fruitness.
Yeah. So Nami has stole a boat from the Buggy pirates, showed up on Orange Island, and then Luffy and Zoro show up. Nami tricks the
Mhm.
pirates into fighting Luffy to try and escape and steal all of Buggy's stuff. And then they kind of end up having a fight with Buggy for a little while, I think.
Yeah,
Then they fight two of the most annoying people in One Piece.
that poor dog as well.
Or Choo Choo Man. Yeah, that's a really sad little tale.
Yeah,
But already,
yeah,
it's One Piece adding in just hard emotions. Like,
yeah.
oh, this
It's
this dog, its owner died years ago, and it's still defending the shop. It's like that Hachi, the Japanese dog.
yeah,
It's basically that, isn't it?
or even the dog from Futurama.
Oh, Fry's dog. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's got to do with small animals. I'm like, oh man, I'm, if it was Kobe, I would be like, at the minute.
Yeah. So we get Moji and Kabaji. Uh, Moji,
Right.
I don't mind as much because he's got Richie the Lion, and I do love Richie the Lion.
Yes.
He's just
He was the
hilarious.
best part of the little Buggy arc, to be fair.
Yeah. But I hate Kabaji. It's like, why do you have to have a unicycle? Could
Yeah. Yeah.
who fights on a unicycle, man? It's just
Yeah.
weird. Um, but
Cirque du Soleil freak.
I suppose with like Buggy being like a clown pirate, and like all the circus kind of stuff, it makes sense. But still, he's fighting on a unicycle, and it's just annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Zoro kind of easily takes care of him. I think he lets him stab him at one point, doesn't he? Just be like, look, stab it as much as you want. I don't care. And then he still beats him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of proving
Oh,
Zoro's an absolute nut.
yeah. I love him. Just the way he's proper simple ways of thinking. Like later on, where he's just like, I'll just cut my own legs off. What are you gonna do?
That's
That's it.
mental.
That's future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the next saga. Um, so then they go back and find Buggy again, and there's not a lot happens in this saga, is there?
No.
Luffy fights Buggy.
This because this is the first time he's come across someone else with the devil fruit power, isn't it? It
Yeah.
fights them. And it's a kind of a challenge because he's got the chop chop fruit
Yes.
where all of his limbs separate from his body. He's in like his hand separates from his arm from his torso, etc. And he can control it and fight with it. And he's a bit of a mean captain where he's just like everything's got to be flashy moves and that because he's a circus themed pirate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked Buggy. I didn't like his henchmen. I thought they were all weirdos. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing redeemable about them. There's no personalities besides what they've got. One of
Well,
them's got a big dog thing, a lion or a tiger,
yeah.
a unicycle. That's about it.
Well, luckily, Buggy is the only one that's really important there.
Yeah.
So we don't really get a lot more of like Moji and Kabaji. We get like little bits of them as you've seen in the like Chronicles of Buggy arc thing.
Yeah.
But we will have Buggy as a recurring character. And there's a lot of theories about Buggy as well, which I don't want to get into. But
Right.
the Buggy lore could go so deep. And I don't know what's true at the moment because things are still coming out.
Right. So we'll leave that there anyway. I
Yeah,
do have a question about Buggy though. Do you know how his arms and legs detach from him? What
yeah.
would happen if his detached hand went into the sea?
Don't know. Um,
would his whole body because when they go into the water, they can't just not swim. It saps the energy. Like later on, Luffy goes under the water, um, and it's just like he cannot swim up because he's lost all of his energy. He cannot lift his arm or anything.
Well, technically,
So like if I
he should be just limp or whatever. Although I don't know because there is sea stone handcuffs, which have you seen the sea? I think that's been introduced already. Um,
no,
or
I don't think
even
so.
like Captain Smoker, his like weapon that he's got. It's not a sword or anything. It's a sea stone bat, which is meant to take away devil fruit powers. But if you put sea stone
Right,
handcuffs on someone, they're still managing to like walk around and like do tasks and things like that. I just don't think they can use the powers and they can't swim. I think that
right, okay,
so
okay,
he'd still be able to like walk around, but he probably wouldn't have a lot of energy if his hand was in the sea, and you might not be able to use his
right.
like powers properly. Um,
Fair enough. So we don't actually know concrete. It hasn't happened before.
no, not the Buggy thing.
Yeah.
We get a bit about Buggy's past. So he was on a crew with Shanks. That's a very important plot. Um, and Buggy originally, like, back in his like past, he had a map that he'd found leading to Captain John's treasure,
Yeah.
which Shanks. So what is it? I think Shanks like patted him on the back or something while he was like holding the devil fruit, the chop chop fruit, and he accidentally swallows
Hmm.
it. Um,
Yeah.
and then do they start fighting,
'Cause
and then another pirate punches them or something like that?
I think so, because they say eating the devil fruit is like a really bad thing. They're like, you can't be a pirate anymore if you eat a devil fruit because the sea hates you.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, right, okay. And then don't they just like expel them? I can't remember exactly because a lot happened since then, since I've watched it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, so I don't know if this was in like the original version of One Piece where Oda had to rewrite it after the first two issues and start with like the Romance Dawn kind of stuff. But
Hmm.
I remember Shanks refusing to take Luffy on his crew because he was basically an anchor now and he couldn't swim or anything like that, so he was just going to be dead weight. Um, that
Yeah.
might have been in the original version, or it might have been in the new
I,
one. I can't remember.
I
But people
vaguely
did kind
remember
of expel
something
them.
like that. Yeah.
But
I'm guessing that's why they're all captains and none of them are like henchmen or like
I
lower. Because
could
it's
be.
like, fine, I'll start my own crew.
But then the further we go in, the more devil fruits that you will encounter as well. So it
Ah,
eventually
yeah,
becomes like, oh, everyone's got a fucking devil fruit. Uh, so it's
yeah.
yeah, it's not really a case of like, oh, you've had a devil fruit, I'm going to expel you from the crew. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I don't know if we'll ever find out about Captain John's treasure. That is still a mystery ongoing as well. But, I mean, it hasn't
Who is
been
Captain John?
mentioned. Yeah, who is Captain John? Uh, but I don't think that's been mentioned since, apart from uh, there's like times where Boogie might like speak about Shanks and be like, "Oh, that guy made us lose me map," uh, but
Ah, you
but it doesn't
see,
really get brought up.
from from talking to you and Jake, where you've not outright told us spoilers, but you've said, "Oh yes, that has been mentioned later on in the current episode I'm
Yeah,
on now," where it's just like things that you might seem are like throwaway plot points or like they don't mean anything, or it's just like, "Oh yeah, that happened." Will get called back in 1,000 episodes just to like pick up on it, and it's quite a major thing. I don't know if that's on purpose or he's just like rewatching it and being like, "Oh yeah, what did happen to that? I'll mention it in the next episode or the next arc."
and what do you think Captain John's treasure is if it does ever come up again?
Ah, it's I don't know.
Is it just treasure?
I I think it could just be treasure because one, I don't know who Captain that captain is, um, and I think Buggy would want money over everything because he's already got devil fruit. He's already got power. So what else would he want? Money?
Well, there's something
Honest
which
alcohol.
there's something which I know that it won't be, but I would love for it to be, and I would love if he found Captain John's treasure and it was a new nose. Because Buggy always kicks off about people saying like about his big nose. Why has he
Yeah.
got a clown nose for a real nose? Um, like I said, there's theories about Buggy at the moment, which nobody knows if it's going to be true or not. But there's stuff about his family. The other people that are theorized to be his family have normal noses. Why has Buggy got a big red nose?
Well,
Um,
actually, is his makeup part of his devil fruit?
no, doesn't he? He already has the makeup on his big nose when he's a kid
I can't
before he
remember,
eats it.
but I've never seen him without it. Me personally, I've never seen him without it. So is that a permanent fixture now? Is it like, do you know on Phoenix Nights when someone spray paints the face paint on and it's stuck forever?
But no, I would just love for Buggy to get an actual real nose and for it to solve all of his problems and for him to start being nice to people. That could be his redeeming arc
Well,
or his redemption arc.
he was nice to Gaiman.
Oh yes, he was. I forgot
He
about
did
that.
give him some homemade homebrew hooch though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he had a choice of whether he was nice to him or not because he was on his island and he was vulnerable because he only had his arms, well, his hands and feet and head at the time.
Yeah, Danny DeVito'd.
But that's because of the end of this arc where we're up to anyway. Luffy fights him. They trap all of his body parts in a bag or in a chest or a box or something like that. And then
Hmm.
Luffy punches him off the island. Luckily for Buggy, he doesn't just fall into the sea, which should have been the most likely outcome for him to be punched off an island. He lands on another island. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
which we can talk about this part if you want, because I mean this doesn't come until the next arc after the next arc, does it? But this is like the follow on from there. We can kind of get past it. Buggy lands
yeah.
on Gaiman's Island. Um, and actually, I don't know if it.
He
No,
lands on a different island. He makes a crappy
yeah,
raft out of logs and stuff. Then he goes out to sea, but surrounding Gaiman's Island, there is a giant crab and other
yeah,
sea creatures. They basically try to sink him. He goes to the island, meets Gaiman, who's a hermit guy who's been stranded on an island for 20 odd years, and he's half of his body is stuck in a chest.
yeah,
Um, so, but he's the kind of protector of the local wildlife and animals on that island.
yeah. And
So, yeah,
Luffy and his crew have already been there at this point as well, because they
yeah,
meet Gaiman, find out how he got stuck in the chest because he fell off a cliff and landed arse first in a chest or something, didn't he?
yeah,
Um, there's not really much happens in that arc apart from the find that Gaiman's treasure that he was trying to climb up for is empty. Um,
yeah.
they ask him to join the crew, which what use would he have been on the Straw Hat crew? Just some tiny guy trapped in a chest.
Sniper.
I've already got Usopp. He's good enough.
Uh, Sniper with a personality.
um, well, yeah, when Boogie meets him, I love the interaction that they have though, where Gaiman's going, "Oh, I met a young lad not long ago. I absolutely loved him. He helped us, and he was really nice, and he did all this stuff for us." And it's Luffy,
Yeah.
and then Boogie's going like, "Oh, I also met a young lad not long ago who was an absolute dick, and he like ruined me life and did all of this." And neither of them go, "Oh, what was this? What was your boy called?" Like for them to
Yeah.
click and be like, "Hang on a second." Um, but I think that's a really good interaction where it's like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
what have we got up next? Is Syrup Village?
Yeah. Actually, before we talk about Syrup Village, can I just mention the devil fruit as well?
Yeah,
Because we've went over Shanks getting this devil fruit, and we don't know why, where from, etc. Um, like, can a person eat more than one devil fruit?
no.
Is that
If
answered?
Well,
What?
you shouldn't be able to eat more than one devil fruit. If you eat
Why?
more than one devil fruit, you will die. But,
Right.
but, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say you
Oh,
can't eat more
hang
than
on.
one devil fruit, but, and that I can't go into it any further than that. You have to wait.
Ah, you're inching these spoilers. Inching
Honestly,
them.
I cannot say more than that. Even me saying "but" is a spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right. Okay.
yeah, only one devil fruit per person.
Yeah, so I do have other questions, but I'm guessing that you'd be like, "Oh, I don't know," but because I'm like, where did devil fruit come from?
See, nobody knows where the devil fruits come from either. My,
Right,
my
right, okay.
theory is that they are on the same island as the One Piece. So you'll know this island as Raftel, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
It's not called.
from the next,
It's not called Raftel. That's not a
right,
spoiler. But it sort of is. So Raftel is a translation error.
right,
When this came out, they translated it to Raftel, but the R's and L's kind of get mixed up in the kanata or whatever the writing kind of thing is
right.
called. Um, so it's not Raftel, it's Laftel or Laftail.
Laugh-tail, laugh-tail, laugh-tail,
Laftail. That's the name
laugh-tail.
of the
So
island.
to have something to do with Buggy then, because he's a clown.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with Buggy.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, that's a
Laughed.
translation. I don't think many people actually do know that. Apart, well, anyone that's just a general everyday fan won't know that that was a translation error. They might think that that's another name for the island, but it is just they got the letters mixed up. Um,
Is it changed later on in the anime?
yes, it is. Once they
Right,
realised,
okay.
because it's confirmed, I think in the Wano arc, which is like 1,000 episodes in, it tells you the story of Laugh-Tale, and then you find out that it's actually called Laugh-Tale. But it's been
Right,
called that
okay.
all along.
Fair enough.
Um,
Fair enough. Okay.
but yeah, my theory is that the devil fruits must come from there because nobody ever sails around the world and goes, "Oh, look, there's a devil fruit tree." Um, so
But
it must be in the one place that nobody can look, which is the last island that only Gold Roger is said to have found.
see, I don't know if that's a thing because like later on in the series, there's that little girl who has the whisper fruit who can talk to animals, talk to birds, talk to dragons. Um, how can she have the whisper fruit when she is a literal child? Wait, unless the dragon's got it. But even so, like they're so available.
Um,
Even a little girl can have it on the East Blue. So
well, I would imagine that like this devil fruit tree or plant or whatever must be dropping fruit. It rolls into the ocean, and that just goes anywhere. As you see in
uh,
so the Logtown arc, the catch that
yeah,
the bluefin tuna thing,
yeah. Hmm.
that is part of the West Blue, I think, isn't it? Or the North Blue,
Hmm.
but it's found in the East Blue, and they're going, "Oh, how did it get here?" So why can't devil fruit drop into the sea and go all over the world?
True. Yeah, true. Actually, I do have a question about that reverse mountain, but I'll wait till we get to Sanji.
While we're on about the devil fruit, so there's three different types of devil fruit. It
Right.
does like categorize into like a couple more branches, but they're the three main types. You've got the Paramecia devil fruit, which is the most common one. That one just gives you a generic ability, such as the chop fruit, where it like you can change your body, um, or there'll be one where you can change your environment, like cause like earthquakes or something like that, change gravity, things like that.
Right.
Or you could create things like, I don't know.
Wax.
Yeah, wax. There you go. Because of Mr. Three Galdino
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
guy. So that's the Paramecia fruit. Then you've got Logia types, which is where someone can turn their body into an element, like fire, ice, smoke, as you've seen from Captain Smoker. So that's the Logia type.
Right.
And
Rubber?
then the what? Sorry,
Rubber? Is that
rubber.
turning your body into something?
At the moment, rubber, the gum
Oh,
gum fruit. We're gonna say that is a Paramecia type fruit where you can change your body somehow.
you're saying it in a tone where you're like, I'm not going to tell you, but at the minute, as
Right.
far as you know,
Well,
right,
that's all I'm going to say. Then the last fruit is a zone type fruit. The zone type fruit you can turn into an animal or a beast, kind of thing. Or then but then you can also get like mythical zone fruits where it's like, so there's a guy called Marco who he's got a mythical devil fruit, and he turns into like a sort of
right.
phoenix kind of thing. So there's like mythical versions of some of the fruits as well. But
Right,
that's the
so
three
wait,
main types.
I haven't seen the third one yet, as far as I know. Then,
No, I don't think so.
right,
No,
okay.
but yeah, there's three types: mythical. Oh, sorry, Paramecia, Logia, and Zone.
Thanks for watching today's episode. Make sure to like and subscribe, and tune in next time for more Straw Chat.